welcome to Face to Face. This is our weekly webcast brought to you by the folks that bring you Face the Nation every Sunday on television. Rob Jesmer, who is the executive director of the Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, which is basically the outfit that is the main fundraiser for Republican Senate candidates. So, Rob, let's talk a little bit first about Dick Lugar. I don't think very many people would say that Dick Lugar was not a fine senator for the state of Indiana, and in fact, one of the most productive senators in the United States Senate right now. Frankly, I cannot think of a senator who passed or is responsible for more significant legislation than Dick Lugar, at least among those are there now. So what does this mean that he gets beat in the primary?
Well, Bob, look, I think Senator Lugar clearly is an American statesman. He did a great job serving Indiana, and he'll be missed. But I also think elections have consequences. We have them all the time. I think back to Senator Alvin Specter, who had a long career and was defeated in the Democratic primary last cycle. This stuff happens, and the reality is, Richard Mourdock ran a great campaign, and he deserved to win. And he's the elected state treasurer. He's got a good platform. I think people are hungry for new blood in Washington, and he struck a tone with Hoosiers. And, Senator Cornyn, my boss, looks forward to serving with him in the Senate in 6 months.
Well, when you say he ran a good campaign and deserved to win, what do you mean?
I just think, look, when he went out and spoke to the people of Indiana about issues that they cared about the size of government, about the debt, about, we have $6 trillion in the debt in the last, we put on the tab. And I think that resonated with people, and I think, that obviously it resonated with people. He won overwhelmingly. And so he deserves to win, and we look forward to working with him and helping him get here.
Do you think he'll be as strong a candidate as Dick Lugar would have been in the general election, because he always enjoyed such bipartisan support?
Well, Bob, we'll never know. All I know is that Richard Mourdock, this is a Republican state. This is Mike Pence is going to be the next governor. Obviously, Governor Daniels has won there successfully. And, we're running against the guy who was the same kind of person we ran against 2 years ago in Joe Donnelly when Brad Ellsworth won and lost by 18 points to Dan Coates. And I just don't think that people of Indiana Hoosiers are going to support somebody who supported health care, supported the president's stimulus, supported Nancy Pelosi for speaker. These kind of things are not going to go well in Indiana. So Richard Mourdock's going to win, and we look forward to helping him do that.
Let's talk about the broad landscape, because that's your job, is to help Republicans get elected to the Senate. There are 33 Senate seats up, and how many held by Democrats?
There's 23 Democratic seats up and 10 Republican seats up.
And so the Democrats have got their work cut out for them. But you've had a couple of, now Lugar gets beat. Olympia Snowe said she was not going to seek re-election. It's going to be harder than it looked like it might have been for Republicans going into this, I think.
Yeah, but I think we always felt like this is going to be a challenge. It's not easy defeating incumbent senators, and certainly when Senator Snowe retired, it was that makes the seat more difficult for us to hold. Just like when Senator Cole retired and Senator Conrad and others, Senator Bingaman, all these other Senator Kaka on the Democratic side, when there's retirements, that makes an open seat and that makes more work. But I think generally we feel very good about where we are right now. I think Senator Tester's on the run, Senator McCaskill, North Dakota, Nebraska. These are all seats where clearly the president's going to lose and lose big. I mean, Indiana can add to that margin, add to that list. And so we feel like there's enough seats on and we're only really defending Senator Brown and Senator Heller in Nevada, who's settled into a nice lead, and obviously we have a Maine which we have to deal with. But the amount of seats we have to worry about is far less than the Democrats.
What do you think are going to be what's your toughest challenges? What are your toughest challenges out there?
Well, I mean, look, in the advent, I would just say in general, from a technical point of view, in the advent of the super PACs and all the money coming to politics, you now have campaigns lose control of their narrative, and what we try and tell campaigns is, try and be in control of your narrative and have your rationale for your candidacy. And, we're running against smart people who are very well funded.
Well, which ones do you think are going to be the toughest? Where do you expect the...
Well, I mean, clearly we have, clearly Senator Brown's going to have a tough race in Massachusetts. He knows it, we know it. I think we got a break in the last 10 days when Elizabeth Warren, was exposed that she noted that she was a Native American, which there's still, I would note, Bob, there's no evidence that she's a Native American that she's produced, which I think most people think she did. She checked a box so she could get a job that others, to give her a leg up, that others maybe would have more deserved.
So that's one. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that'll be tough. But I mean, look, all these things are tough. I think Senator Heller's in pretty good shape right now.
Now, where is that?
That's in Nevada.
Okay.
But I think we are an offense in North Dakota, Nebraska, and Missouri, and Montana, Wisconsin. We're very encouraged about Wisconsin. We're very encouraged about New Mexico. And, you know, we're encouraged about Hawaii, a state where the president's going to probably get 65% of the vote, and we have a very good candidate running, and we have a great chance of winning in Linda Lingle. So I think, you know, they have more to deal with than we do.
You think you'll take the Senate?
Bob, I think we got a great chance of taking the Senate.
That would be, you'd have to get, what, 4?
We have to get 4 seats. Obviously, the president lost. We'd have to get 3 seats, but we're shooting for 4 seats right now.
And what do you think would be your easiest?
Well, I mean, I've said for a long time, I think Senator McCaskill's enjoying her last 6 months in the Senate. I think North Dakota and Nebraska, these are states where the president's going to win by, you know, lose by 15 or 16 points. I think we're going to win there. But Bob, look, I'm a realist. None of these are easy at the end of the day, and we work hard here with our campaign. Senator Cornyn's traveling all over the country.
How much does a presidential candidate, the candidates at the top of the ticket, how much does that matter in Senate races?
I think it depends on the state, but clearly it depends on the state, Bob. But I think in general, the better run the presidential campaign is, obviously it helps everyone else. And I think Romney's doing a great job. The Romney campaign is. We have a lot of friends up there. I think he's got a real good shot of winning, and that's going to help us in a lot of places.
How do you see the presidential race right now?
Well, I'm a little surprised at the arrogance of the Obama campaign. They seem to feel like they had this thing won already. And I looked at Gallup yesterday. We were down. I think Governor Romney was up 1 point of the president. You know, they've had basically a free reign. We've had a bumpy road in the primary process. They spent $150 million. We're 6 months out, and we're down, and we're up by a point according to Gallup. And Battleground poll was very encouraging. So that is going to be a very competitive race. But if I was Governor Romney's team, I'd feel very good about where they were right now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and best of luck to you and your candidates down the road. And that is Face to Face. And don't forget to watch Face the Nation this Sunday on television.